Okay, so this is now take 2, trying to record this voice, but I can't speak. But yeah, my cats are going absolutely nuts, and I ended up getting so distracted because they were like doing zoomies literally around me that I just forgot to talk and was getting very, very distracted. So hopefully this run goes better. So in this video I really wanted to do like a Winter Wonderland kind of build. Now I know we are very restricted within The Sims with that kind of thing, but I really wanted to like try and at least get like the vibe across. So I wanted to build like Hyde Park, because that's where I think of when I think like Christmas market. Maybe Covent Garden as well, but you know, they're still both places in London. And Covent Garden is like a huge market that was going to be like a lot harder to do probably. And I thought like for gameplay purposes this might be a bit easier and might be applied to your game a bit better. So I got in like the iconic lake, which is more of a pond in The Sims. So it's like a very baby mini Hyde Park, but we got like the little pond off to the side, the main like lake, and then like that iconic pathway. I'm gonna get hurt because they're still going. That iconic pathway like through the middle, which is actually a road in Hyde Park, but you know, for us it's just a walkway. And then I did have to like go back and fix the pathways to meet up with that bridge that we had to do. But I've kept a lot of the terrain painting in this video, so if you don't like that, or if like the ratio of what I allowed screen time and what I didn't is off, or like what you would like to see, like I'm still learning how to do speed builds and like what I should be allocating screen time to, so any feedback would be greatly appreciated. Also, I'm probably not going to be like talking absolutely non-stop, because 26 minutes talking straight is a lot and a big strain on my voice. Also, this is now the second time back to back that I am trying to record this, so I would have been talking for like an hour at that point. But also, I've only got so much to say, like I don't know what to talk about, because I don't want to just like randomly rabbit on about my life and like bore the fudge out of you guys, you know. Well, with this bridge I was thinking about doing like a raw iron moment, but then I had to like go look at the original image and I actually found out that it was a stone bridge, so we changed it out for the castle estate. And also, what I really hate about the terrain in this game, especially with the water, is how jagged it is. Like I really tried to smooth that out and it just wouldn't. So I don't like that, but I did the best we could. And then this is me like just putting 50 million trees around the place because it's a park. And then I wanted this lot to be toddler and infant compatible. I tried to make all my community lots compatible for infants and toddlers, but that public toilet we end up getting rid of and building our own, because of that. I don't think that the toddlers and infants can use it. And then I absolutely adored this gazebo, but what I don't understand is why I think we get the gazebo from growing together, but we get the ivy for it in cottage living. Like I don't understand why they did that. But with this being a Hyde Park build, I wanted to get sort of like the elements of it across, because obviously we couldn't recreate it properly because it is massive. So I did like a little memorial garden that I didn't really furnish for Christmas. I just left it like tranquil and as is, and then the rest of the park is insane. Well, not really, not compared to like the official like Wonderland, because obviously we are very constricted and I don't have high school years, so I couldn't even attempt to do anything with like the fairground rides from that. That would be fun to do at some point, but I don't know if you can like use them or if they're functional off of the pier at Copperdale. Is it Copperdale? I think it's Copperdale. But I really loved like all these topiaries, like especially the animal ones. And if romantic garden stuff was not made for this moment, I don't know what it was made for. Like a memorial garden is just, it's just like what this pack was made for. I mean, technically it wasn't, but you know what I mean. And I took absolutely forever trying to figure out where to put these topiaries, and I ended up building like a flower bed to like accommodate a lot of them, which I really liked. And we also get like a chess table and stuff in here because I didn't know what to do with it, but I wanted it to be functional. I wanted there to be a reason why you would come over here. And we get in some water fountains as well, I think. I really like that crane one, but I think that's a debug item, and I think the rest of them are from the catalogue. I think, how many times am I going to say I think? But yeah, I'm aware of it now. I think that there are more and different ones in debug, but I didn't go scrolling as much as I probably could have, but I think we had enough. I can't stop talking, I'm doing a voiceover, but you ever get that moment where you're just like, shut up to yourself? Yeah. And I really don't like that these woods didn't match, but we sort of did the best we could with it. Yeah, I condensed the size of the pond yet? Oh, if I haven't, we do condense. Oh, I'm doing it now. Yeah, we do condense the size of the pond. Just a bit, because I wanted more of a walkway around it. And then we did like a proper flower bed. I do end up realising that those topiaries are sticking into the hedge, and I do end up moving them out, but I don't think I filmed that. And then I absolutely love like those tall yellow flowers. I can't remember what they're called, but they are amazing. I would love to have them in real life, not that I have a garden, but you know. And then I just put a couple of benches around the place, and I also do like a big memorial plaque thing. You think in a memorial garden especially, you need to have something like that. And we also did like a load of wildlife effects on the water, but I'm not sure how much of that shows up in winter. But you know, it certainly will in other seasons. And then this is me moving over to sort of like the market area. We do end up condensing it down a bit because of how the flooring tiled out. But I liked the idea that it was sort of like a removable structure, so it wouldn't be there all the time. Or I mean, maybe it is, but it's not a permanent structure. But you could change out like what festival. Sorry, I'm yawning. Sorry. If I made you yawn, let me know in the comments. I make myself yawn all the time. Like, I'll yawn in an edit, and then I obviously when I'm editing, I'm just like, Christ's sake. And I have to like, yeah, and then I just make myself yawn. Yeah, it's a thing. But yeah, you could like have different markets or decorate it differently for each season. Like you could do Harvest Fest, you could do Love Day, you know, you could what is it? Not Easter, or it's supposed to be Easter, but it's like it's Flower Day with the flower bunny. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, you could just decorate it differently. And at this point I was thinking that I was going to get into the actual decorating, but we do end up going over to the previous build mode again because I can't see where my paths are and I needed to know where to put the Christmas trees. But yeah, I just wanted like a couple of food stands and like market stalls that like do really make you feel like it's like a festive market. And we do like a big Christmas tree in the middle. I fussed about with the size of this thing for a while, but I think we settled on the smaller one. Yeah, I really wanted that festive Christmas vibe sort of coming through, and the lights from Love Struck, these like star or snowflake lights, were absolutely perfect for this, and also the stage was the perfect size, which I couldn't have done if I tried. But I did have to move the stairs out of the way just a little bit, so that people could walk through. And this stage is functional, you can walk under them, I have checked. So yeah, I'm just putting those starlights around, and then I go into faffing around with trying to organise this stage, which is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. And we also do get up like safety railings and everything as well. I did try to change the decorations, but without setting it to a residential lot, I wasn't able to. So yeah, just if you set it as if you put it in your game, if you set it as a residential lot, you can change the decorations and then just set it back as a community lot, and then you should be able to change the decorations to whatever you want them to be. Yeah, and then this is like our small public toilet block. I just wanted, like I said, to be able to accommodate infants and toddlers, so we have like a normal side and then like a baby change side, which is why one's bigger than the other. And I utilised a lot of the get to work in here with like the paper towel holders and like the soap dispensers and stuff. I really like just like those little clutter random items that you wouldn't think would be useful until you're trying to build something like this. So yeah, I really like just having that option. I change out the windows in the end because they don't match the doors. Like the doors are quite, I wouldn't say modern necessarily, but they're not like old like those old windows were. And then we just sort of go white tiling and black floor. Yeah, we just keep it very sort of generic in here. It's sterile. The only difference to actual London toilets is you don't need to pay to use them. So there's that. But yeah, I've just got like the baby change table, and I didn't attach the bin to it because it just looked a bit strange sort of being out in the middle of the room. But there is a bin in both sides, in the room at least. So, you know, the option is there to use it if you need to. What I didn't do in hindsight is actually put bins around the park. So I should probably go back and do that before I upload it to the gallery. Yeah, so I'm just getting in like the little clutter items, and then I don't think you need those emergency signs, but I ended up putting them up anyway, and then a little camcorder on the outside. And then for this sort of marketplace area, I wanted like cover, but I didn't want to like build it out of like actual walls and spandrels and stuff. I just thought those little I don't know what they're called, shelters, worked quite nicely for like the story I was trying to tell with it, but I don't think they like actually work as shelter. And then I wanted to get like these presents around because I thought like they could be like donations for the elderly or the poor, or you know, people that really struggle with Christmas, or maybe like sick children, you know, like terminally ill children. I don't know, you know, like just all those like causes that you can donate to, like donate Christmas presents to and stuff. I just, that sort of vibe. Or if you don't like that, they could just purely be decoration. I don't know. But I just made them like a few different colours, so it looked like maybe different people had donated them, but they didn't look all like uniform and blend in with the floor. And then on these market tables, I just put a few items so that they looked functional. I didn't want to leave them blank. I don't know whether you can sell the items that are on these tables, but you could just clear the tables off if you wanted to use them yourselves. So yeah, we had like a sort of crystal jewelry table, and then this is more sort of like a farmer's market kind of table. And then we have two the other side that I'll talk about when we get there. Yeah, just like maybe different like teas and like nectar, whatever. But yeah, and then this is more sort of like a crafting table. I just tried to utilize the clutter items I have in the game to like be able to decorate these up properly. And I think I got the vibe that I wanted across, at least. And then this is more sort of like a gardening table because the sign was kind of generic. So I could sort of fill in the gaps with whatever I wanted. But, yeah, gardening worked out with this one because of the greenhouse pack, and I had a lot of those sort of clutter items. And then I think we put some actual plants up as well. And I don't know why, but with this particular table, I kept accidentally picking it up. And I didn't do that with any of the other tables, and I don't know what that was about, but here we are. Yeah, so I'm just getting like, I think we get like 3 small normal plants up here. Just, you know, just to really get that vibe across. And then I did like a picnic area down here, and I ended up choosing like concrete tables at first, but then I was like, no, this needs to be removable. So we end up going for like more wooden tables. But that view out over the harbour is stunning. I've just kind of realised that the juxtaposition of me building a London park in a sim city that is built or based off of New York is actually kind of funny. Like, maybe I should have done Times Square. But yeah, no, I struggle with New York personally because of personal reasons. But yeah, I really like these festive lights, and it took me absolutely forever to find them. But I was doing this on call with one of my friends, and they suggested the lights, and I was like, you know what, yeah, that's a really good idea, because I wasn't going to do it originally, but I really feel like it just brought the whole thing together. And now I'm just showing some more terrain painting. So again, if I didn't get the screen time right on this, please let me know. But yeah, we just added some terrain paint, and yeah, I just outlined all the paths to make it a bit more realistic. Like, you won't see it when it's Christmas, but once all that snow thaws out and everything, then I wanted it to be like a nice park that you could, you know, come to and everything, with like proper immersion with the terrain and everything and all the decoration. So I didn't want it to like just be a for Christmas sort of park. I wanted it to, you know, for you to be able to use it all year round. I think we go and build the park soon. But yeah, I'm just, you know, terrain painting under all the trees and everything, and I absolutely adore that gazebo, but I don't know why we got the gazebo in, I think, Growing Together, and we got the ivy for it in Cottage Living, and we got Cottage Living first, so like, what's the deal with that? But, you know, it's The Sims, they're gonna do whatever they're gonna do, but maybe that was part of their money-making scheme to get people to buy Growing Together, because you want the other half of the gazebo. But, you know, but yeah, I wanted like a play park in here, and we got the toddler slide, and I do end up extending the park a little bit, so that we can have the swings in, because I felt like that was important. And then my friend was like, oh, the park's in the shape of a P. And I was like, oh yeah, so it is. That was completely by accident. And then we put like the crash mat sort of flooring in, like is it asphalt? I can't remember what it's called. But like the play park flooring. I don't know why I struggled to get that last piece in so much, but I did. And then we put some gates and some benches around the place. I'm losing my words. But yeah, 26 minutes is a long time to remember, like, to find things to talk about, especially when you're a quiet person like me. But it's fine. I really enjoy this. I do. And then I wanted like stools and everything over here, because I was thinking, like, if you're just here for the ice skating, you might not want to walk all the way over into the bustle of the market. So I thought having like a little food and drink stand over here made a bit of sense. And then I end up like stone pathing this whole area. I think that you can put like walkways and everything on. Right, okay, I don't know what I'm trying to say there. Like removable like ice rinks and stuff on grass, and like I'm pretty sure they put like temporary flooring down and then put it on top of that. But I don't know, I just ended up stoning it all off, and I think it worked. This park is like within a larger sort of park, at least on like the map, so I didn't feel too bad about like getting rid of most of the grass realistically. Yeah, I wanted the vibes, so we got the vibes. You know, we got a couple of benches around in the park so parents can sit down, and then I got like these more sort of industrial-esque benches around the ice rink, because they fit the vibe of the ice rink a bit more. And then yeah, we're going over to like the mini outdoor bar area now, which I kind of felt like was important. Like, I feel like there's always a bar or something like that at these sort of things, so yeah. And I do make sure to like terrain paint under the stage thing properly, because if anybody ever wants to remove it, and I know the game has like that glitch where it could delete my terrain paint at any moment, but I wanted to make sure that it was at least done properly. And I end up changing the bar out for the one with the lights, and I do think we put a bar backing in. I think it was the Island Living one, but I really can't remember at this point. And then we get like these big university bar tables, and I can't remember what stools. I think it was the Perfect Patio, I think it's called. Yeah, those stools. Yeah, and just get some seating down here, and I put some decorations on the tables, like the jars with the little Christmas trees on them. I think I did that one. This is me just like trying to find all the bar backings, because apparently they're not all in the bar category like they're meant to be. Things are mistagged. I really wish EA would just like hire somebody to either fix it themselves or hire somebody to like fix the catalogue, because it really needs a good reshuffle and organisation. And this was me just like checking whether they had lights in it, and they didn't, so I got some lights on the table as well. But yeah, the catalogue's a mess, and I think the players as well like would probably be the best ones to organise it, because we're the ones running into like the actual problems with it. But whether they do or not is entirely up to them, and who knows at this point. Yes, I just ended up making this pathway a bit bigger because I wanted to get like the fountain on, and like the Christmas trees could sit on the grass, but I don't end up doing that. I end up like pathing under them. So yeah, we will. I was gonna say we will see. I don't know why I'm saying that. It's just a phrase that came into my head apparently. But yeah, we terrain paint that up nicely, and then I just go around and fix the sort of dirt from the lake, and then we obviously terrain paint properly under the trees, and I do end up changing the colour of those trees to like a brown, which is more like a tree colour. And then I feel like we're in the final stretch at this point, because we've gone back to the snow. We're putting some final benches around, and then I think we get into the proper Christmas decorations, which I didn't do all that much. I think the big Christmas trees and the snow and the lights on the trees really carried themselves, but I put that big snowman in the gazebo, and then I got some of these like deer around the place. I really like those. They also sort of made sense in a park as well. And then I get these snowmen around the stage. I thought they were really cute. And then I think the final thing is we come up on top and we do... I'm just fixing the placements. And then we do like nutcrackers, I think, in between the stalls. And then that is it. So, yeah. So this is mini Hyde Park in all its glory. I'll show you around during the day, and then we'll get like a brief like go around at night as well. So this is like the main entrance. There's the toilet block, and we have Christmas trees and like the big lights tree. And coming down this way, we have the memorial garden. Yeah, there aren't really any pond effects in the winter, but there will be in other seasons. And then we have the ice rink. It's nice to see it so busy. And the little play park over here. Yeah, and then coming over the bridge, we have the market, which is all covered in snow. Little picnic benches down here, but look at that view. And then we have obviously the bar area down here. You will apparently have to hire vendors for literally everything, which is annoying, but apparently that's just how The Sims works. And then yeah, we just have everything strewn around like this. So I will jump into nighttime, and then we will have a look at it again. So this is the park at night. It's just very softly lit. I mean, it's quite bright around the market, but generally it's quite softly lit. And obviously we kept the memorial garden very calm and tranquil over here. But then we have ice skating over here. Nobody's doing it right now. But I did try to keep get the markets open, or like the vendors open. It's such a cozy vibe, especially over here. Like, I just love it. So that is the park. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you want to give me feedback with like the screen time ratios and stuff for this build, let me know. I would enjoy the feedback. And if you have any suggestions about anything else you'd like to see, I would also love to hear that. So if you've enjoyed this video, there are plenty more videos on my channel. As for upcoming content, I live stream some Saturdays and alternate Wednesdays on YouTube, and occasionally I will be streaming other games over on Twitch. But all of that will be listed in my community tab for my weekly schedule, which I normally post on a Monday. But if live streams really aren't your thing, I totally get it. And there's always a brand new video every single Friday at 8 PM English time. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please subscribe so you don't miss out. And remember to turn that little bell on. And if you think you're already subscribed, maybe just check, because YouTube does YouTube things all the time and it likes to unsubscribe people. And yeah, YouTube is YouTube. But with that, I will leave you to the rest of your day. I hope it's a good one, and I will see you next time. Bye!